No, I don't want to. I want to, right? But here's the thing. I mean, guys, you have to put a little less value now to Uranus because of the fact that there are so many counters around it, or itemize differently. I think teams, even me, when I started to choose Enchanted Talisman over anything else, I kind of feel that Uranus is losing his grit, his tankiness. I would feel that teams should prioritize getting some defensive item first and take the load off of Uranus in terms of dealing damage. I mean, there are hundreds of not really. There are tens and many other heroes that can dish out damage. Don't put the damage output on the Uranus. You don't have to. Uranus should be tanking kills. In this situation, hopefully Blacklist International should rethink this. I am a fan of the execute and the pull yourself together strategy, but put some defensive items on this guy first. Yeah, what do you think about the draft?
No, I agree.
What do you expect, boys? Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. I would like to dub myself as the third best Uranus in MPL esports. you got 8G, yourself, you got Delara Vonic PH, and then you got me. I think I've been outperforming in my ranked games and when I'm studying. But no, jokes aside, you're right. Uranus, he's a lot like a sledgehammer. He's a lot like a sledgehammer. He's able to do damage, but he's cumbersome. You can pick him up first if you know what you're getting into, but don't expect him to always perform. So I think a lot of us, you're right, are over evaluating what Uranus can bring. Sure, he's a safe pick, but yeah, people are starting to pick up. People are starting to learn that there are counters, that there are ways to stop Uranus. And with a lineup that just doesn't work, like, he's not a tank, guys. Never ever think that Uranus is a pure tank. So with that being said, Blacklist needs to learn their lesson here. But it looks like they're drafting the same way they did in game 1. Exactly. Both teams. What's going on?
Exactly. Honestly, I'm scared for Blacklist now. The fact that they brought out the Uranus and the Kaja right away. I mean, if it's broke, fix it. And that's what I'm trying to I want Blacklist International to see. SGD Omega, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they're not fixing it right now because it's not broke. The Claude, the Esmeralda, and the Jawhead were really big for them in the last game. So if we just end up seeing the same picks here, I'm still going to lean towards SGD Omega. Why would you show up the Uranus and prioritize it as a first pick, knowing that the Esmeralda was already an option for SGD and they made it work? Answer, probably because Blacklist has something else up their sleeve to counter this Esmeralda. If it's still the same picks, I don't know. I'm still gonna lean towards SGD. Blacklist though. There we go. Something new. The Kagura though. Interesting.
Hold up. Yeah,
I guess
this is Edward's Kagura. This is Edward's Kagura.
I think. I agree. So, you know what? I think that this the only difference now for Blacklist is why they are still confident with the Uranus is that this is a second pick for them. So at least they will have the last pick. However, SGD Omega, I still firmly believe that they have won the first round of the draft. Rafaela and the Atlas gonna be picked by SGD Omega, meaning this is a side laning Jawhead, I would say.
Bruno.
Oh man. Oh, no way. So it's gonna be a support Kagura.
By the Falling Star Moon to really contain, followed again, or maybe the Jawhead's, ejector right there, just to really, clean it up. But for the side of Blacklist, Kaja here being most efficient, if ever so they managed to pin down either the Rafaela or the Claude. Because if you're going to pin down the other three, they could still have that shot into really escaping. And based on to the overall draft of Blacklist, they don't really have that super mobility to really back it up, if ever so that their victim manages to escape. You know what I mean?
That's also what I'm thinking about, because you don't want to pull Toshi, you don't want to pull Haze. So Kenji is gonna be super vulnerable if you can find Kenji on his own. Same with obviously Hajizi. The thing is, will that happen? That is my thinking here.
Because we've already seen that SGD Omega is giving a lot of space in terms of the Claude right here. And the Rafaela really has that good harassing potential. And I don't think within the later minutes of the game, this Rafaela is going to go alone. Because I'm pretty sure that this is going to be aided up whenever they will be starting skirmishes fights or team fights per se. So going back into what we have right now, Rock Hard, still back to the fundamentals, them scaling one by one, just poking each other out into respective lanes. But I think they will be transitioning here to the bottom side.
Yep, it should be quite easy to get messy, down and messy with SGD here, and then find Kenji or find Hajizi, right? It sounds like it's gonna be easy, especially if it's a full-on collapse with Ikagura. Yin Yang Overture really messes up the team fight and sometimes can really give advantage to the team that has Ikagura. This might not be it, though. Again, that's the biggest problem. Can they actually pull the trigger? And will SGD Omega allow them to pull that trigger? Because they can just negate that by not clumping up together all game. Right? You can do that. You can just not team up.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But again, speaking of clumping up together, that was the initial strategy of Blacklist International, if you notice in the early minutes of the game. 3 people on the blower side, and again, looks like Heath will be the one to be harassed. But like what I've said, this is still too early, and the Jawhead is tanky enough, you know, and it's really near into a very safe area. So I think that was a bit of a missed comms in terms of calling the shots for the side of Blacklist. But going back to what I said earlier, they are clumped up together into the early minutes of the game. That leaves a lot of space for the Claude and, a very half XP for those 3 members that I saw earlier. If I'm not mistaken, that was the Kaja, the Bruno, and the Kagura earlier.
Kagura, yeah. Right. Which is, I don't know if that's going to be getting into play though, as we do see Heath going in with Unstoppable Force. They lock it in already on the Riddler. That is 1 down already, the biggest damage dealer aside from Edward. Will it be a turtle take though? It will. Going over to Hajizi, making short work of Killer in that Uranus. Blazing Duet to clear up the minion waves, prepping for the push. Will be counterflowed here. Edward, huge minion overturn, but no follow through coming from Blacklist International. SGD comes out on top of that team fight.
I cannot. Did you see how the Cho Way of the Dragon to Claude, but before actually getting the kick, the Jawhead used the ejector against it, and that was a beautiful play done by the Jawhead. Really timely manner. It really prevented from Claude getting picked off, and that was a good timing, really. And wow,
come on, Claude, you gotta have that on the replay.
Yeah, you
right,
really
get
have
that on the replay. We want to see that again. Top lane though, again, another use of the ejector locks down 1 more target. On the bottom lane, it's a different story. Blacklist, they will get 1 more tower, but overall, SGD doing really good in this game so far.
And this is what we've been talking about earlier, Rockhart. We were correct in terms of, really protecting the squishier heroes for the side of SGD. And this is leaving Blacklist International into a pinch wherein they can't really, divide judgment one of the tankier targets of SGD Omega. But speaking of that, ejector is going to be used, but I think that's just going to be opted for a harassment. Considering in terms of population, there are more members of Blacklist onto the top side. But that left Rafaela and company to just really go for that third take.
Yep, that tower really short-lived here. Again, SGD has Haze, and the power of the normal attacks of Heath are also quite scary. But again, they are suffering a lot of damage here. They are still not out of the woods just yet. They must not be super overconfident, or else they could get caught out here. Is what they're doing. Hey, Heath on the front line. Oh, huge phalanx here. Gets the cleanup, gives the kills over into the cores of SGD Omega. Oh man, Blacklist International now bound and bruised here by SGD. Blacklist, they are now nowhere to be seen on the map. That is beautiful teamwork there from SGD. Wow.
See, this is what I've been referring to earlier. You get Jawhead gets an ejector. Okay, this is the replay right now. They will be ejected, the game overturned, but the Fatal Links will be there accompanied by the Blazing Duet. And that is what you have to really avoid when you're really facing this sort of lineup. That was a beautiful cleanup. That's what I say. I think one of the most cleanest setups that we have when we see SGD Omega utilize this. But again, going back to the points that I said earlier, this is what makes them scary. Because the moment you get pinned down by the Jawhead, follow it with the Fatal Links, because for sure there will be aid when someone gets ejected from the side of Blacklist, right? Once you get Fatal Linked, it will be aided up with the Falling Star Moon to immobilize you and just have that Blazing Duet to just really clean it up. And that is the threat level that these three could really get. And this is what we're seeing right now again for the second time around. But the Divine Judgment will be used to really prevent that setup from happening.
Okay, a little bit of overconfidence, I would say. They did not really need to take that. No minions were nearby as well, so they probably wouldn't have transitioned that into a clean push anyway. But still, we were talking about how easy it is for SGD Omega to just really layer all the crowd control alongside Heath, alongside Haze. And they did that earlier. And the pickoff that we're talking about, kill onto Kenji, that might be a super critical turning point. However, Toshi takes it back here with a kill on the Aqua.
And again, Ejector will be used to pin down the killer right here. Hajizi will be using his kits, but I think he manages to go on a safer distance. And of course, objective-wise, SGD would still be sticking into this turtle tank, really securing that and not leaving any room for resources against Blacklist.
Yeah, because Blacklist, obviously all they can do here is just cower in the jungle while being hunted down by SGD Omega. And I think they do have a little bit of sixth sense going in here. And Honda B is going to be the first one here to see the power of Haze onto that awesome Atlas. Again, the reason why you guys were really turned around here is because of the Atlas on the predictions. That is absolutely coming true right now.
And again, like what I've said and look what we've been saying earlier, they are not really giving any space. Flicker and Divine Judgment in. It's gonna take a pick off right here, really diminishing the potential that SGD has. But again, it's gonna be stuns all over Fatal Link. And that was gonna be a Pivot Tower Knight at last, going all out with the help of the Blazing Duet of that Claude right there. And you know, Aqua here going on the run, but Haze is just gonna follow him all through. And that leaves Claude with the space onto the top side. But again, Aqua trying his best to survive. Will he though? Let's see if he is able to escape with two people on the chase. But look at the bottom side rather. It's just really gonna go all the more exposed while all this fiasco's happening. This is a run, chase your phone for the dog right here. And I think
all around the map.
Okay.
I thought Aqua was gonna pull off some crazy shenanigans there. Apparently that was all the skills he had. Man, was that all worth it? I'm not sure. Probably. They probably saved their base overall. But Hajizi is still able to get the bottom lane tower over to SGD. Again, with the help of all the supports here. Mid lane might be the next target. Fully buffed up, fully stacked up. Hajizi 2-0-6. Golden Staff just getting completed. That might be the nail in the coffin right there. The trio that's needed for a Claude to be super powerful is already locked in.
Indeed. I mean, we've seen earlier that ring around the rosies to the map. It could have been worth it if his other members were alive and actually going for a pick-off or defending. But then again, going back right here into our games right now, SGD just abusing the map control that they have, going in for the Lord before going anywhere else. And the problem here for Blacklist International is that, okay, sure, the Kagura has the damage. She has that, especially when the Yin-Yang Overturn is going into play. But the problem is they can't get a good setup. Why? Because they lack the initiator. Okay, you have the Cho with the Way of the Dragon, but where's the follow-up? Because the thing is, the Kaguras should be into the back lines to avoid getting picked off. And that is what SGD is abusing right now.
Yeah, and overall, the abuse on the lack of initiation for Blacklist International, they have that Kaja Divine Judgment. They can't use it. They have a Yin Yang Overtone, which possibly could still be fatal to SGD, but there is no opportunity to use, to press that button to get into the team fight. And overall, Blacklist, they're waiting and waiting and waiting, but SGD, I don't think they're gonna give it.
Yeah, because the more they wait, the more resources that SGD will just really go for the taking, And like what we've been mentioning earlier, okay, the Kagura has damage, it goes for the Yang Overturn, but is denied by the Atlas's Fatal Links. And that is the thing that makes SGD really lethal. And by Lethal, just looking at the pressure that SGD is inflicting on to Blacklist right now, I think it's gonna be over real soon.
Yeah, I think that might be the case here. Lord will go down, but there are no more inhibitors. Let's go! One more smackdown into the back line, but looks like not gonna be enough to wipe him out just yet. Blacklist, they are able to take down 2 members here of SGD. Will the remaining members go for the coming team fight? I don't think so. They are able to defend in the last minute, but Hajizi, he's still alive. Goes for the BMI going now. Will he spot by Honda Beast? Will this be a kill? The Honda Beast, he sees the image, but will not be taken onto the bait. Wow, Blacklist, they are able to pick up a team fight at least.
Barely, actually, because you have to take note though, during that team fight, the Claude was, still not into the vicinity. And for the side of the Kaja into the Blacklist, that was a good call, not really entering to Claude, because you'll give him another free gold for the taking. And going back to that fight earlier, you have to take note as well that even though it was a good defense for the side of Blacklist, Claude was not there. You have to put into the question, what if he was, right?
Absolutely. Like right now, full item Claude. Like, oh my god, you better be careful, right? A big leaps and bounds different from the place Riddler is right now. 5,000 gold to be exact, but that will be a pick-off possibly. But again, no damage output available yet. The Blacklist, everyone is scattered all around the map, and it looks like Hajizi gonna be in the middle of the fight this time. No more leaving his teammates and giving all the kills over to SGD. I think, come on, I think it should be. A little bit blunder there by Kenji. Does not matter in the end. They will go for the big well take, and the kill goes over to support. The win goes over to SGD.
Yes, sir. And look at that.
Absolutely destroying. Blacklist International there goes inside the well, the fountain. I don't know what we call it here. They